Exomologiste to Kyrio te agathos, alleluia.
Otis ton neona to eleos aftu, alleluia.
What I am, my human nature. Now I asked the same thing about God. I said, the reason why we worship God, is it because of who God is, as in the person, or is it because of what God is as being worthy of worship, which would be his divine nature? He doesn't actually think that there is a distinction between nature and person, because when I asked him, he then filibustered around that. What I'm doing is dodging your pivots. I want you to stay with my point. I'm going to ask you again. The principle of Allah's worshipfulness, Allah, God, doesn't really matter. This particular principle, is it the essence of God that makes him worthy of worship, or is it his personhood? Could you please answer that question?
I don't grant you the distinction between essence and personhood.
Why?
Why is a different question.
Why?
I don't grant you. I don't have to.
Okay, why?
I don't have to.
Why?
I don't have to.
You need to show a defeasibility
interrupt.
criteria for that.
Don't interrupt.
I have to prove it. I have to prove the distinction. I can't let you just get away with that. You're going to have to explain why.
Move your hand.
You have to explain why.
Don't do this.
You have to explain why.
So I don't grant you.
Why?
I don't grant you.
Why?
I don't need to give a reason.
You don't need to give a reason why you believe something. So you can believe things for no reason at all. So here's the problem. I'm going to be nice and charitable to you. I know you are finished because I'm going to explain the reason as to why there's a distinction between essence and person. So here's the problem. The essence of a particular being is what that being is. For example, human beings have human essences, which explain what we are. We have hands, we have feet, we have eyes, we're able to think, but that doesn't explain who you are. What's your name, sir? You don't have to say it for the camera, just make up a fake name. What's your name?
Do you see how?
John. So, John over here would not just be his essence, he would be a person. A person would be who that particular thing would be. Now, I believe rocks have natures. I don't believe rocks are persons. I believe human beings have natures and they're persons. And I also believe that that distinction applies to God as well, because God isn't simply a what. God is a who as well. So if you don't believe in that distinction, now you need to give defeasibility criteria as to why, because I've given actual criteria as to why you should accept it. So why does that distinction not exist? Let's hear the reason.
The question I was asked you earlier on is so simple.
I'm going to answer the question.
Do you believe and accept the Father is God?
And what was my answer?
Either in essence or in nature?
You never said that. Wow. When did you say that? You're now saying it. But so you accept the distinction?
Excuse me, listen.
Do you accept the distinction though?
Let me speak or not?
Of course, if you answer the question. Do you accept the distinction?
When I'm speaking,
Yeah.
I request you be civilized and let me state what I have to state.
I think it's perfectly
If you keep
civilized to
on
interrupt a person
No, you can't
when they're
interrupt.
filibustering. We must make sure that we stay on point to whatever it is that we're saying.
let me-
Now, insulting me as a
polemicist,
polemicist means nothing.
100%.
All I've done is bring an idea forward. I brought a distinction, something to help us understand what's going on.
This is not
Hi,
theatre.
here's the problem.
This is not
It's
theatre.
absolutely
I
a
can speak loud as
conversation.
well.
Here's the problem
So-
that we have, but you're not
I was
speaking
saying,
truthfully.
what
When
do
I
you-
bring this particular
why do you
distinction,
believe?
you need to be able to show
Why
a
do
reason
you
why
believe?
that distinction isn't
That's
true.
what you said.
So what we're going to
Instead
do
of
is we're going to
responding
let
to me,
him speak for
he's
as long
gonna
as he needs
continue
to,
speaking
and we're going to
I
see
can
whether
do
or
the
not
same thing.
he can give a reason as to why the distinction isn't true. All right, we're going to put the stopwatch
now,
on. Go ahead,
you see what
Mansur.
happened? You see what happened?
Did you agree with
So,
No, I'm putting a stop. No. I'm putting a stopwatch on to see how long he's
Don't
speaking.
interrupt.
We'll see. Go on.
as we've seen, because they cannot
Basically, let's say, for example, you get away from a point. Let's say you're getting away from a point. Of course, I would interrupt you to make sure that we stay on topic. You spoke to me. I'm just responding to that. So that's the response.
Because he doesn't want to accept my definition. So I am saying, in whatever way you see
When did I
God
say I don't want to
as,
accept it? I'm just
if
asking
you want to
clarifying
see God as
questions.
an essence,
Clearly, I'm just asking questions to
nature,
clarify.
or a person, answer the question. Do you consider the Father as God in any way, shape or form? That's it.
So if that's what you're asking, again, I just want to make sure that we're clarifying. He wasn't able to answer my question. Remember the question, everyone. Remember the question. There's a debate, of course. Remember the question, Mansur. My question to you was whether, if that's annoying, that's okay. I haven't touched you. I know it is. Now, here's the problem. My issue to you is as follows. I asked you, what is the reason or the principle for God being worthy of worship? Is it his nature or is it his person? You know his explanation? Your explanation was, well, God has to be perfect because he's a necessary being. But that doesn't tell me whether Allah is a necessary being because he's a person or because of his divine nature. And you know that. So now I'm going to ask you the question again. And I'm going to be even more charitable to you and do the following. I'm going to answer your question. I believe that the Father is God, worthy of worship, because of his divine nature. But I want to ask you the question. Is God God because of his divine nature or because of his personhood? Please answer the question.
What was the answer? Is the Father God? Was that yes or no?
Nature.
Was that
God
yes
is God by his divine nature.
So he is God. Fine. So remember what I said? I gave him the flexibility in whatever way, shape or form.
I love the theatrics though. You know you complain about my theatrics and now you're doing theatrics. I'm just commenting. I'm not interrupting your flow of speech.
That really shows how weak and feeble you are. Because
how am I weak and feeble? That's embarrassing, honestly, Mansur. You got to make sure that you're not doing random insulting here.
Notice how many times
now we're doing meta. He's now trying to explain to you what the debate is about the debate. Continue. Exactly. But he's commenting on me. He's commenting. Yeah, he's commenting on me. Exactly. And I answered. Did I not, my friend? Did I not answer the question?
I am here 2 minutes.
Of course.
I hear your theatrics.
Yep.
I see how you interrupting him.
And so in that 2 minutes, you also heard my answer, and I appreciate you. Out of respect, I gave you his answer. I gave him an answer, and you know that as well. Now, for everyone listening here, can anyone remember my answer? What was my answer? It was, of course, the essence of God that makes the Father God. That's what I told him.
When I've asked him the question,
have a dignity.
I asked him
dignity.
For yourself,
okay, why don't I have dignity? You're saying I lack dignity.
Number one.
I have to address it, saying I lack dignity, unfortunately.
Look, listen,
yes.
Number one,
yeah.
You talk.
No. I know. I want to talk with him, but when you have people that want to come and defend a person, you're going to have to respond. So here's the thing. I must defend my dignity because of the fact that you're speaking over me.
He's asking me, why should
he keeps calling me a polemicist and he's not able to prove it. And now I put the volume down. Continue, please.
Right. So when I gave him the flexibility of this term God, I said, okay, do you accept God the Father in your belief of God? Do you accept him in God?
All right, we're gonna give it 5 minutes.
Way, shape or form. So he said yes. Good. So we have established now God, Father is God.
Yep.
Okay? So that's not half a God, or 1/3 God, or a quarter God. That's a full God. One full God. Is that right?
When you say full God, what do you mean? Full.
When I say full,
I think he's truly God. I think he's truly God.
When I say full, I mean he's not half or a third or a quarter.
That's not telling me what it is. God. You're telling me what full isn't. You're not telling me what full is.
I'm telling
what
you
is
full means it is not half.
So full means it's not something. Can you show me what it is? Because he's not defining the word.
So every time, notice how many times he's asked that. Every time trying to explain, he's going to interrupt. So I'm saying a full God is a complete God, is a whole God. It's not part God, it's not a quarter.
A whole God?
It's not a third, it's not
a whole God, seriously?
It's a one whole complete God. Do you agree?
Again, no, that particular phrasing is absolutely shambolic. Not even the Christians that use the term fully God in their creeds is good. So, I believe that Christ is truly God. I don't use the word full or half because that is fraction language. I don't use fraction language for God, which is why he wanted to use it. I think that being God is either a true statement or a false statement. So I think he's truly God. So you need to substantiate why that language is used for God without objecting to fraction language. Now here's the thing. I answered this question already.
This being is a one whole being,
or he's half a being,
or is a half or a quarter or a third.
How can he be half a being?
Well, that's exactly what I'm trying to eliminate.
Go on.
So is he a half
No.
God?
Is it possible for a thing to be half a being?
Answer this question.
You said, remember,
is he a half God?
He said to all of us here, I'm going to answer your question. He said to all of you listening,
He's
He said that people can either be, not people, that a thing can either be half a being or fully a being. Could you give me an example of a half being, please? Go ahead.
When I am saying, I want to
Man,
clarify with
it's been
you
real. It's
and
been
to
real.
you, when we're talking about a whole God, what I mean by that?
No,
it's
no,
not
a
like-
whole being, a whole being. Go
no,
on.
Don't interrupt.
Hi,
How
whole
many times
being,
you're
please.
interrupting?
You've interrupted me multiple times, so I think that was pretty much out the window. So here's what we're going to do. Unfortunately, I have to go and grab some pizza. I've got to wrap up, and I appreciate it. Here's the problem.
Go.
No, here's the issue. Now, he tried to make this an issue and say that there are multiple gods. He said I have to defend the fact that there are multiple gods. He couldn't convince a life of us that there are multiple gods. He wasn't able to substantiate that there were multiple gods. You know what he said his definition of God was? One that's worthy of worship. And then I asked him, what does it mean to be worthy of worship? Is the reason why worship your essence or your person? And he wasn't be able to do so. So therefore, given the fact that he wasn't able to show the nature-person distinction, he wasn't able to talk about it. He said that he can't even grant the distinction. And so we kept him on the conversation, and he packed up his stuff and he ran away. So, thank you so much for everything, guys. It's been real. I'll see you all next week. Thank you. To find me on Jerome Chukwuem on YouTube. Thank you for everything, guys. Thank you.
I told you I'll bring somebody to kick you.
When I fall, I'll come back. You doesn't even know. Look at him. Hey, you don't even know.
You thought there was a God. You thought there was a God. You thought there was a God. I thought there was a God. Run away. You people run away.
We're going to be doing the same next Sunday.
I'm lost. You lost, I thought you said I'm lost. Yeah, we lost. Arsenal. We won the league.
Man went like this to insult us. That is the fruit.
He's trying up the fours,
He looks
bro.
disappointed.
TV
Mansur.
shows,
He's an
2000s,
idiot.
they got the trend a year later.
Wasn't good.
When it comes to being God, you've got to ask the Muslim, what do you mean by God?
Yeah.
What exactly do you mean? He said in the beginning, God means God. God means just a being. And I said to him, that makes no sense. So then he said, God is one worthy of worship. Then I paused myself and I said, what does that mean to be worthy of worship? Is Allah worthy of worship because of his personhood or is that divine essence? Couldn't tell me. Because he didn't even know the distinction existed. As soon as I used the distinction, started going a bit crazy, filibustering, started getting annoyed, irate, angry, confused, concerted, disconcerted, and ultimately void of the point. As a Christian, remembering the differences definitionally between nature and person will take you a hell of a lot way longer than simply remembering Bible passages, because by remembering those particular key facts, you will understand the scriptures even better. Thank you so much for listening. God bless you all. Thank you, guys.
Well done.
All right.
God bless you, brother.
Gotta get going.